What happens when a CEO scrubs gym showers undercover and hears his coworker hasn't been paid in 2 weeks? Noah Neller stood outside the back entrance of his 8th gym location, pulling on a faded hoodie and ball cap. He adjusted his fake name tag, tie, and took a breath. He'd built this gym chain from the ground up, starting with one location in his garage 10 years ago. Now there were 8, spread across 3 cities. And lately, something fell off. Customer complaints were creeping in dirty bathrooms, canceled classes, staff not showing up. But every time he brought it up in meetings, the district manager, Leo, brushed it off. Staffing's tight everywhere, Leo had said. They're getting the job done. Noah didn't want another filtered report. He wanted the truth. And since this was the only location he'd never personally visited, it was the perfect place to go undercover. He walked in through the employee entrance. Nobody batted an eye. This gym was big, busy, and hired often. The staff didn't know what the owner looked like. He usually stayed behind the scenes, letting managers run day-to-day stuff. Inside, the manager, a lean guy in his 30s with a clipboard and a constant Bluetooth in his ear, glanced at him. "You the new cleaner?" he asked.
"Yeah, Ty."
"Good. We're slammed. Locker rooms are priority. Showers are disgusting." Noah nodded. "Got it. Talk to Jessie. She'll show you around." Jessie was already scrubbing the floor near the weight area when he found her. She was maybe mid-20s, brown curls tied back, hoodie wrapped around her waist, sleeves rolled up. She looked exhausted but moved fast. "You the new guy?" she asked. "Yeah." She handed him gloves. "You're lucky. Monday's the worst. Weekend crowd wrecks the showers." For the next 2 hours, they cleaned side by side moldy tiles, clogged drains, used razor blades left behind. Noah was stunned. The showers looked like they hadn't been deep cleaned in weeks. He kept quiet, watching. Jessie didn't complain once. She just worked. Around noon, they took a break near the back hallway. Jessie took a sip from a plastic water bottle. "You live close." "About 30 minutes. "You full-time or just filling in?" "Not sure yet. They didn't say." Jessie laughed without humor. "Yeah, sounds about right." She hesitated, then looked at him. "You get your check yet?"
He blinked. "No."
"Only started today." She nodded slowly, then said, "I haven't been paid in 2 weeks." Noah froze. "Wait, what?" "They keep saying processing delay, but I'm behind on rent. I'm just hoping it comes this week." He stared at her. She wasn't looking for sympathy, she'd said it like a fact. Matter of fact. Like she was used to being ignored. "Have you talked to Leo?" he asked carefully. "Leo?"
She scoffed. "He's barely here.
"And when he is, he acts like we're lucky to have a job." "I've tried. He doesn't listen." Noah clenched his jaw. "That's not okay." "Tell me about it," she muttered. Before he could ask more, the manager appeared in the hallway.
"Ty," he barked.
"You're not on break. Showers are still nasty." Jessie immediately stood. I wasn't talking to you," he said sharply, then turned to Noah. "Move it." Noah followed silently, rage simmering beneath his calm face. Later that day, he noticed more things. The front desk staff looked nervous around the manager. A trainer told a client the sauna was broken again. When Noah asked Jessie about it, she said it had been down for 3 weeks. "Why hasn't it been fixed?" "Leo says it's not urgent," she replied. "We've reported it 5 times." By the time his shift ended, Noah had seen enough to know something was very wrong. He sat in his car, staring at the building. Jessie hadn't been paid. The showers were disgusting. The staff was scared. And Leo? Nowhere to be found. Noah took out his phone and called his assistant.
"Hey.
I need everything you've got on this location. Staffing, maintenance records, payroll logs. And don't tell Leo." "Not yet." He hung up and leaned back in his seat. Tomorrow, he'd be back. And he'd be watching. Noah arrived early the next morning, just as the sky lightened over the empty parking lot. A single staff member stood outside the locked employee door, arms crossed, breath rising in the cold. He looked young, maybe 19 or 20, dark circles under his eyes. "You waiting to get in?" Noah asked, approaching with a nod. The kid glanced up, clearly startled, then gave a tired shrug.
Yeah.
"Keypad's dead again. Battery or wiring or something. Been like that for months." Eventually someone with a key shows up. Noah pulled his hoodie tighter. "You work mornings a lot?" "The last 2 weeks straight. They said we were short on openers." He yawned into his sleeve. "I'm just trying to finish probation so I can transfer to the front desk at the downtown club." A sedan pulled in, tires crunching lightly over gravel. The cleaning manager from the day before emerged, unlocking the door with a flick of his wrist. He didn't acknowledge either of them, just pushed the door open and walked in. The kid followed. So did Noah. Inside, the lights buzzed on in pieces. The air smelled like old sweat and disinfectant. Noah headed straight to the supply closet. Jessie was already there, balancing a mop bucket and sorting gloves. "You're early," she said, brushing her hair back with her wrist. "Figured I'd get a jump on the floors." Her eyes didn't quite hide the surprise. "No one jumps on anything here. You sure you're not from corporate?" He chuckled. "Wish I was." She looked at him for a moment longer, then turned toward the locker rooms. "Keep an eye out for broken tiles near the second stall. Almost cut my knee yesterday." He followed her in. The shower area was worse than it had been the day before. Wet footprints from the night staff streaked through soap scum. One of the shower heads was sputtering a constant drip. "Does anyone check this overnight?" Noah asked, kneeling to scoop up a wad of hair from the drain. "We don't have night staff. Leo cut that shift last month. Said it wasn't worth the payroll." Noah stood slowly. "So, the place doesn't get cleaned between closing and morning?" She shook her head. "Customers complain by 10 a.m. every day. We're always behind." He kept his mouth shut, but his mind was racing. Cutting overnight cleaning meant every complaint was now inevitable and preventable. Later, while clearing out the trash bins near the cardio area, he overheard something that made him pause. Two trainers, both wearing branded polos, stood near the smoothie bar, speaking in low tones but not low enough. "I told her she couldn't sign up for the women's weightlifting class," one of them said. "We're not running it this month." "She didn't care," the other replied. "Said she already paid. I told her to contact customer service."
Not my job.
The first one scoffed, shaking his head. "Honestly, if they're dumb enough to believe the schedule's real, that's on them." Noah stepped forward. "Excuse me, are those classes canceled?" The taller trainer raised an eyebrow. "Who are you?" "Just trying to learn the ropes. Wasn't sure what to tell people if they ask." "They won't," the shorter one said. "Most of them just come for the machines anyway." Noah nodded slowly and walked away. His heart was pounding. The schedule posted on the front desk had listed 6 classes for the week. If they weren't being held and customers had paid, that was theft, plain and simple. He returned to the locker room and found Jessie filling the mop bucket again. "Hey," he said quietly. "Are the fitness classes actually happening?"
Some.
Depends who's here. Most of the instructors quit when their pay got delayed. We only have 2 left, and they keep getting pulled to cover front desk shifts." "Why's nobody saying anything?" She shrugged. "People try, but Leo doesn't read the notes in the log. And if you push too hard, you get fewer hours." He stared at her. "Fewer? Not more. Punishment, basically. Or you get stuck with the weekend doubles." "That's why no one talks." Noah walked to the janitor's closet and sat on the folding chair inside. He pulled out his phone and checked the message from his assistant. She'd sent over the payroll logs and staffing reports for the last 60 days. Half the employees had missing hours. One trainer had clocked in for 24 consecutive days without a break. The last maintenance request had been closed out with a generic, resolved note 3 weeks ago. He closed the phone and returned to the front lobby. The morning crowd had started to trickle in, members scanning cards, wiping machines, heading toward the locker rooms. At the front desk, a young woman in a headset was trying to explain something to an older member. "I understand, ma'am, but I can't issue refunds. You'll need to email billing." "I've emailed 5 times," the woman replied, voice rising. "I was charged for a personal training package I never signed up for. I wish I could help, but you work here, don't you?" "I'm just part-time." Noah stepped behind the front desk casually and leaned toward the young woman. "Who handles billing?" he asked. She startled at his presence. Leo. And sometimes the regional office. But mostly Leo. "Does he explain to you how to handle these issues?" She shook her head.
No.
"We just log them." The older member had turned and walked away, muttering under her breath. Noah turned back to the part-time staffer. "What's your name?" "Marisol." He nodded. "Thanks, Marisol." By noon, the gym was packed. Machines were full, towels were gone from the racks, and 2 customers had asked for refunds at the desk. Noah headed to the staff room to grab water. Inside, he found Leo finally. Leo sat with his feet up on a folding table, phone in hand, sipping from a branded shaker bottle. He didn't look up when Noah entered. "You the cleaner?"
Yeah.
Leo's eyes flicked up, then back down. "Mopped the stairwell today. Smells like mildew." "Sure." Noah didn't leave. Leo looked up again, annoyed. "Something else?" "You know Jesse hasn't been paid?" Leo's mouth tightened. "Payroll issue. Not my fault." "Who's handling it?" "Corporate." Noah leaned against the doorframe. "You're the district manager." "You don't follow up?" Leo stood, pushing his chair back.
"Listen, Mann.
"You don't get how this works. You're here to clean, not ask questions. People are getting charged for classes that don't exist." Leo's tone shifted. "You don't know what you're talking about. And if you're trying to stir up crap, I've got no problem cutting your hours." That was it. Noah stepped forward. "You're done here." Leo stiffened. "Excuse me? I said you're done." Noah pulled off the hoodie and the name tag. "My name is Noah Neller. I own this company." Leo's jaw dropped. He looked at the door, then back at him. I came here because I kept hearing reports that didn't match the numbers. You've been lying in everyone." Leo's voice dropped. "Look, we're just under pressure. There's a lot going on. You cut overnight cleaning without authorization. You've let staff go unpaid. You're misrepresenting our services to customers and retaliating against employees who speak up." Leo's face paled. Noah didn't raise his voice. "You're terminated. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out by the hour. Leave your keys with Marisol." He walked past him and into the hallway. Jesse was pushing a new mop bucket toward the locker room. "Hey," he said, stopping her. She looked up, confused. "I need you in the office real quick." Her expression shifted. "Am I in trouble?"
No, he said.
Not even close. She followed him into the staff room, where Leo was gathering his things in stunned silence. Noah turned to her. "Jesse, I want to personally apologize for everything you've experienced here. You shouldn't have to chase your paycheck. That ends today." She blinked, clearly trying to process. "I've just fired Leo," he continued, "and I'm going to need someone who actually understands this location to help rebuild it." Her voice was cautious. "You want me to manage it?" "Not alone. But I want her input, starting now. You've earned that." He turned to Leo. "Keys." Leo dropped them on the table without saying a word. Noah nodded toward the door. "Goodbye." Leo left without looking back. Jesse stood frozen for a moment, then slowly set down the mop handle. "I don't even know what to say." He smiled. "You don't have to say anything yet. Just help me fix this place. The next morning, Noah didn't wear the hoodie. He walked through the front entrance of the gym wearing a plain polo and jeans, nothing flashy, but nothing to hide. Most of the morning staff hadn't arrived yet, except for Jessie, who was already prepping the front desk. She did a small double take when she saw him, then went right back to loading clean towels into the bins.
No teatrix.
Just work. Morning, Noah said. Jessie glanced at him, then nodded. You're really not pretending today, huh?
No.
Full transparency from now on. He stepped behind the desk and looked around. The lobby was quiet except for the hum of a vending fridge and the soft thud of someone jogging on the upstairs track. I brought in 2 people from Central Ops, he said. They'll be here in an hour to start an audit. We're reviewing every open maintenance request, every customer complaint, and every payroll entry from the last 90 days. Jessie didn't stop folding towels. That's a lot of mess. I know. You still okay, helping me sort it out? Yeah, she said, not looking up. But I want something clear. If you're asking me to help clean this up, I need to know you're not just here for a week and then disappearing again. He leaned on the counter. I'll be here every day until it's right. You have my word. She gave a short nod. Then let's get started. By 8, the gym was busier. Clients filtered in, some with earbuds already in, others chatting as they passed through the turnstiles. A few nodded at Noah, assuming he was just another regional guy checking in. 1 or 2 glanced at Jessie, who now had a clipboard in hand and was moving with a sharper edge of authority. Noah spotted Marisol near the back office, loading printer paper. He approached her carefully. I need a favor, he said. Can you help me track which members submitted refund complaints over the past month? She blinked. You want me to go through the logbook? And the email inbox. I know it's a lot, but I trust you to do it right. Marisol hesitated. Am I still part-time?
For now.
But after this week, I'll be reevaluating everyone's role. If you want more responsibility, you'll have the chance. She nodded slowly. Okay, I can do it. Noah smiled. Thanks. And if anyone gives you trouble, you come straight to me. In the staff hallway, one of the trainers from the day before, the taller one who joked about the class schedule, stood scrolling on his phone, leaning against the wall. He didn't notice Noah until he was a few feet away. You're supposed to be running a session at 8:30, Noah said. The trainer looked up, confused. It's not a real session. We don't have sign-ups for it. Doesn't matter. It's on the schedule, and customers paid for it. He shifted. Yeah, but Leo said we could skip it if no one complained. Leo doesn't work here anymore. The trainer frowned. Okay, but it's just one class. Noah stepped closer. You told a customer she was dumb for believing the schedule. That wasn't just a joke. That's disrespect. And it's not acceptable here. The trainer opened his mouth, but Noah cut him off. Hand in your badge. You're done. The trainer blinked. Wait, seriously? Right now? He stood frozen for a moment, then slowly reached into his pocket and dropped his keycard on the desk. Noah picked it up and pointed toward the exit. Marisol will deactivate your credentials. You can collect your things after hours. Security will be informed. The trainer walked out without another word. In the next hour, Noah and the ops auditors walked the entire facility. They opened every closet, checked the HVAC logs, and inspected the equipment maintenance records. The sauna had been listed as fixed twice in the last month, but the circuit board was still fried. The broken keypad on the side employee door hadn't been replaced in over 6 months. And half the machines had outdated safety inspections. Jessie walked beside Noah during most of it, clipboard in hand, scribbling notes. You're going to need a full-time facilities tech, she said. I've already posted the job. Until then, we'll bring in a trusted contractor. She nodded. And the front desk needs retraining. Customers come with real questions, and everyone's been guessing. I'll fly in a training lead by Thursday. She narrowed her eyes. You're not just saying that? You'll meet her in 2 days. In the early afternoon, a group of members approached the front desk, visibly frustrated. One of them, a woman in her 60s with a resistance band around her shoulder, stepped forward. Are we getting a replacement for the strength class or not? She asked. No one's told us anything. Jessie stepped up. The class was canceled due to staff issues, but that's changing now. We're hiring new trainers, and we'll honor every credit you're owed. I'll personally call you with a new schedule. The woman raised an eyebrow. And who are you? I'm running this location until further notice, Jessie said. Noah watched the woman's face shift surprise, then approval. She gave a short nod and turned back to her group. We'll give it another week, but we're watching. When they left, Jessie exhaled. That's going to be the hard part. What is? Winning them back. They just want honesty, Noah said. Something they haven't gotten in a while. In the break room, Noah found a trainer he hadn't met yet, sitting quietly with a protein bar and a notebook. She looked up as he entered.
Hi, she said. I'm Remy.
I cover evenings. He sat across from her. How's it been here the last few months? She hesitated.
Rough.
But I didn't want to leave. I like the members. I just didn't like how invisible we were. You're not invisible anymore. She looked at him directly. You're the owner, right? I am. She nodded.
Then I'll just say it.
We need more than apologies. We need structure. Accountability. Someone who shows up when things break. Noah leaned back. I agree. You want to help shape that. Remy tilted her head. What does that mean? I want to build a core team here, people who've been through the worst and are still standing. If you're in, I'll give you a role in rebuilding this place from the inside. She didn't blink. I'm in. By closing time, the gym was quieter. The evening crowd was smaller, and the front desk was being run by two newer hires who looked unsure but willing. Jessie sat in the office, her legs stretched out, clipboard beside her. Noah walked in with 2 coffees. He handed her one. Long day, he said. She took it, still catching her breath. Feels like a week. I know. But we made progress. She looked at the whiteboard on the wall now filled with tasks, deadlines, names. Did you really fire that guy for skipping class duty? I did. She nodded. Good. They sat in silence for a moment, both watching the board. Tomorrow, she said, we should start reaching out to the instructors who left. Some of them might come back if they hear Leo's gone. Do it, Noah said. Offer them updated contracts, better pay, and full transparency. Jessie looked at him. You serious about that? I've never been more serious. She sipped her coffee. Then we might actually pull this off. He leaned forward. We will. But only if we keep listening to the people who've been ignored the longest. Jessie didn't smile, but she nodded. And this time, it meant more than any promise. 3 weeks later, the gym didn't feel like the same place. It didn't smell the same citrus disinfectant had replaced the musty staleness near the stairwell. It didn't sound the same, no more buzzing complaints at the front desk. And it definitely didn't run the same. Noah stood inside the old staff office, now converted into a shared operations hub. The whiteboard had been replaced by a mounted screen displaying real-time feedback scores and ticket logs. Jessie sat at the desk, sorting through a stack of applications for part-time front desk staff. She wore a black polo with the gym's new internal leadership badge, something Noah had introduced to recognize employees with field authority, not just titles. I think we've got a solid candidate for the Sunday closer, she said, not looking up. Former member. Took a break for school. Wants back in. Can they handle the register solo? Already handled a small retail store. And they asked about scheduling software in the interview. That's more prep than I've seen for most. Set up shadowing this weekend. Jessie clicked twice on her laptop, then leaned back. You know what's weird? No one's yelled at me in over a week. That's not weird, Noah said. That's how it should have always been. He walked out to the main floor. The group classroom was half full. Remy was leading a hit session, calling reps through a wireless headset. The mirrors had been polished, so clean they looked like additional rooms. Near the cardio area, Marisol was showing a new hire how to log customer feedback using the company app. She caught Noah's eye and gave a small nod before turning back to explain the difference between service requests and maintenance alerts. Her tone was even, confident, and she didn't pause to look for approval. Noah moved toward the back hallway, where a contractor was packing up the last of the tools from the sauna unit. The panel was fixed. It had taken 2 weeks, 3 replacement parts, and a full electrical trace. But it was done. As the contractor signed off the invoice, Jessie appeared with a printout in her hand. "Just got customer survey data back from the last 10 days, she said. "Scores are up 22%. Most common word used in the comments." She handed him the paper. "Clean," Noah read aloud.
Good.
"And staff actually listens. That one came up 14 times. Then we're on the right track." She hesitated. "Can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Why didn't you come sooner? Before all of this?" He folded the paper once and set it on the counter. "I thought I was getting the truth. I built this company assuming my people would speak up if something was wrong. Turns out, some of them were being shut down before their words got anywhere." Jessie crossed her arms. "It's not just this location, is it?" "No," he said. "It's not. I've already started unannounced visits at 2 others. And I've mandated quarterly anonymous staff surveys reviewed directly by me." She nodded once. "Good." A few hours later, a woman walked into the lobby with a cautious step and a duffel bag slung over her shoulder. She paused just inside the door, scanning the room. Noah spotted her and walked over. "Can I help you? I used to teach here. Strength training. I left 4 months ago. What's your name?" He extended his hand.
I'm Noah Neller.
Her expression didn't change. "I know. I heard you were one of the best instructors we had." She looked away. "I didn't leave because I wanted to. I left because someone told me I wasn't motivational enough for group classes. Said I didn't have the look for it." Noah's voice tightened. "Who said that?"
Lau.
"You want to come back?" Dana raised an eyebrow. "That depends. Am I walking into the same place I left?"
No.
"That place is gone." She studied him for a moment. "I'll audition tomorrow. You can decide after that." "We're not auditioning anyone. If you're willing, we'll onboard you by the weekend." Dana nodded once, then turned toward the reception to sign in. Jessie walked up behind him. "You okay with that?" "She was pushed out for how she looked," he said. "She gets to walk back in on her terms." That evening, Remy joined them in the office, towel draped over her shoulder. "The HIT class had a wait list," she said. "First time in months. Think we're ready to rebuild the full schedule?" Noah asked. "I've already drafted it," she said. "We just need 3 more instructors." "Let's make it 5, he replied. "We'll rotate them so no one burns out." Jessie looked up. "That means we need to adjust the training budget." "I've already doubled it." She tilted her head. "You don't think the board will push back on that?" "They'll see the numbers. Retention's climbing again. Refunds are down. And for the first time in weeks, our net promoter score isn't dropping." Remy leaned on the desk. "You think this can scale?" "The way we're running it now." "It has to," Noah said. "But not from a spreadsheet. From people who live it every day." The next morning, he arrived before sunrise and found the young kid Eli sitting on the bench inside, tying his shoes. "You still doing opens?" Noah asked.
Yeah.
"But the keypad works now. And someone actually cleaned the mats before I got here." He looked up. "It's not the same place, sir." Noah sat beside him. "You want to stay on long term?" Eli blinked. "I mean, I was just trying to transfer downtown, but..." "Yeah, maybe. We're starting an internal development program. 1 shift a week, You'll shadow operations, front desk, and training leads. If you stay consistent, we'll fast-track you for management prep. Eli stared at him. Seriously? You've been showing up every day. That counts. The day moved fast. By mid-afternoon, the facility was running at full rhythm. The new towel service contract had arrived, the HVAC techs had completed their inspection, and the vending contractor had replaced the expired stock. At 4, Dana returned. She ran a 1-hour strength class that filled the studio. Jesse watched from the side, arms crossed. When it ended, Noah met Dana near the lockers. "You weren't kidding," he said. "I didn't come back to prove anything," she said quietly. "I just didn't like the way I left."
You don't have to explain. You're here now.
"And you're staying if you want to." She nodded without a smile. "I want to." By closing time, Noah stood in the back hallway, watching the last members trickle out. Jesse walked up beside him, code in hand. "You headed out?" he asked. "For tonight." "You?" "I'll stay and lock up." "You trust this place to run without watching every corner?" "Not yet. But I trust the people running it." She looked at him. "You built something good. It just got too far away from you. I won't let that happen again." She considered that, then held out a set of keys. "I don't need these anymore. Put them on the wall. This place shouldn't depend on one person having all the access." He took the keys and nodded. When the last light turned off, the gym was quiet. Not empty, just settled. Ready. And for the first time in months, it felt like it belonged to the people who kept it standing.